It is one of the most popular puzzles and also one of the hardest. The original cube is a 3 by 3. The 3 by 3 was invented in 1980 by Erno Rubik using a mechanism that looks like this. You have the core that holds all 6 of the centers of the cube. Then you have the edges and the corners that go onto the core and slide around the core like this. The way they stay in the core is a little hook on the edge called a torpedo. If you do not have the torpedo, the cube will explode. So, you've probably heard of the original 3 by 3, but have you heard of this? A 4 by 4. This cube came out to challenge the people who had already solved the 3 by 3 and wanted a bigger challenge. The main difference is that you have 4 centers on each side and 12 edges instead of 4 edges per side. That means in order to solve it, you have to pair up all 4 centers so that each center is the same color, and then pair up the edges so that they're just the same as a 3 by 3. Once you have done this, you can solve the cube exactly like the 3 by 3. Now you're thinking, okay, that's hard enough, right? Wrong. There's also the 5 by 5. This cube came out for the people who didn't think the 4 by 4 was challenging enough. This is the largest cube ever branded by Rubik's, meaning anything bigger cannot be called a Rubik's Cube. And when I say bigger, I mean the 6 by 6 cube. When this cube first came out, it seemed impossible to solve, until the world record was broken by Kevin Hayes of 1.5 minutes. It takes me 10 to 12 minutes to solve this cube. So you may be thinking, okay, it cannot get any bigger than this. Wrong again. There is also a 7 by 7. This cube is not much harder to solve than the 6 by 6 due to the fact that the mechanism of a 6 by 6 is just a 7 by 7 with the inner layer hidden inside the cube. While it may seem like this layer would make a big difference, it really doesn't. The world record for solving this cube is a little more than 2 minutes. It takes me 18 minutes. Now that I've talked about the times for bigger cubes, you may be wondering, how long does it take people to solve the original 3 by 3? Well, the answer varies. I average 26 to 28 seconds, and my personal best is 17 seconds. However, the fastest people in the world average 6 to 7 seconds, and the world record for solving the 3 by 3 cube the fastest is 4.90 seconds by Lucas et al. The people who solve the 3 by 3 in this amount of time are called speed cubers. Speed cubers learn a specific solution to the cube and do that solution over and over to see how fast the cube can be solved. However, those cubers don't just speed solve 3 by 3, they also solve 2 by 2s. The world record is 0.58 seconds. 3 by 3s, and as I said, the world record is 4.9 seconds. 4 by 4s, the world record is 21 seconds. 5 by 5, the world record is 47 seconds. 6 by 6, 1.5 minutes, and 7 by 7, 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Now you may be thinking, okay, there are a bunch of types of puzzles, but they're all cubic. Well, actually, there are other types of puzzles that people speed cube, such as the Pyraminx, a triangle-shaped puzzle with these little tip things. The world record for solving this cube is 1.3 seconds. There is also a cube called the Skewb. This cube turns around the corners instead of turning around the centers like the regular 3 by 3. The world record for this is also 1.3 seconds. And then there's also the Megaminx, a 12-sided cube, or otherwise known as a dodecahedron. This is just a dodecahedron version of a 3 by 3. And last but not least, the Square One. This cube is a completely different cube from anything else due to the fact that it shape-shifts, meaning it changes its shape. When this cube is solved, it is back into a cube. The world record is 6.4 seconds. I will now demonstrate a 2 by 2 and 3 by 3 solve. Ready, set, go. The first thing I have to do for the 2 by 2 is to solve the first layer. Then I orient the last layer and permute the last layer. If anyone doesn't know what permute means, it means put the pieces in the right spot. And now for 3x3. First you have to make a white cross, like that. Then you have to pair off the corners of the bottom layer with the edges of the middle layer and put them in their correct spot. Then you orient the last layer and permute the last layer. If you want to get into speed cubing, a good method to learn is called layer by layer. This method is not the fastest, however, it is very easy to learn and you can get down to about 25 seconds using it. However, if you want to get into more advanced speed cubing, a good method to learn is called CFOP. This is the method I use and it can get you down to 6 or 7 seconds. However, I have not reached that point yet. There are also cubing competitions that you can go to. There are no time limits, so if you know how to solve a cube, you can go. It's very fun because all the cubers who go to the competitions are very nice, and there are a lot of tables where you can just sit down and share your cubes with other people. I have a competition coming up soon where I will be competing in 2x2, 3x3, and Scube. I hope this inspired you to. I hope this inspired you to try to solve the Rubik's Cube. It is a really fun thing to know how to do. I've been learning how to solve all kinds of puzzles, cubic and non-cubic, for the last few months. I started off learning the basic beginner's method, and I know you can learn it too. Thank you.